Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thank you for joining me for another Disney video. Today is a video that was born from a tweet that was kind of making the rounds this week. I will put it somewhere on the screen, but it was someone who appeared to be bothered by the fact that there are people out in the world who like to go to Disney regularly. She made the argument of, why would you waste your money, spend your money going to Disney year in and year out? Wouldn't you rather go to the Swiss Alps? Wouldn't you rather see the Great Wall of China? Then proceeded to tweet that if people were responding by saying that they do both, well, she just didn't want to hear it, which was not really much of an argument. Anyway, this really seemed to irk Diz Twitter, which is the community of very opinionated Disney people on Twitter. And to be honest, it kind of irked me too. But instead of backlashing at this tweet, I decided, this could be a really good video, because I don't think that this person's the only one who feels this way or has asked this question. Though maybe she asked the question a little bit more aggressively than most people do. But I've heard it in my own life. Why do you go to Disney so much? Why would you spend your money doing that instead of doing something else? I think the overall easy answer is, you know, I spend my money on what I want to spend it on, and you spend it on what you spend it on, and that's our own separate interests and things, and what I find valuable, you don't find valuable, and vice versa. That's an easy blanket answer, but I really wanted to think about this. I wanted to think about, why do I decide to spend hundreds, maybe even thousands when you think about it, on trips 2 to 3 times a year to Disney? Why do I spend the money on an annual pass? Why do I go to the same place all the time? So this video is really just my opinion and my experience, but I thought that I would share mine because I think that it could help people who don't understand it understand at least one person's perspective of why. And I also would love for those who do love Disney who are watching this to let me know their reasons why, because I think it's all very valid and interesting, and really would like to know why you guys go over and over again year after year. But let me start with my story. So some of you guys know this, but I've been going to Disney since I was a kid. My first time was in 1988. I was 2 years old. Didn't remember any of it, but had VHS tape of it, which was awesome, and grew up watching that tape, wanting to go back. We eventually did when I was 10, and I believe went once more when I was a little bit older. And so I sort of already had a love for Disney. I wasn't going year after year because I was still a kid and I didn't have my own income, and that wasn't a plausible thing for my family at the time. We did Disney as our big trip, and we traveled locally because my parents were saving up for a house, so a big part of my childhood. And so to save money, we did local trips. We drove down the East Coast a lot. So we did Hershey Park and Busch Gardens, and we went up to Salem, Massachusetts, and all of that kind of stuff. And then Disney was the big trip. And I didn't really have the luxury of traveling internationally at the time. As I got older and I realized how much I loved Disney, and I had friends like Rob and some of my other close friends who also loved Disney, I decided that it made sense for me to spend my own income doing that. Part of where that came from was when I was in college, I was a cast member at the World of Disney on 5th Avenue. So we got huge discounts to go. My ID was my ticket. We got 50% off hotels. There was a lot of incentive to spend your vacation time there because we got such great perks. So that was the first year that I ever went to Disney 2 times in 1 year. I believe this was 2009. And I'd never done that before in my life. I thought it was crazy that some people did it. And then I did it and was like, this is awesome. And I did it because I had the means to, being that I worked as a cast member. And then I think from there, my love of it just really grew. I started to work a full-time job in my current career, was making actual salaried pay, and decided this is a place that I like to go. On the flip side, I have since traveled to a lot of countries, fortunately. My husband, Peter, doesn't really like Disney, but he loves traveling in general. And so it's been great for me because so do I. Isn't that weird how we can like Disney and like other places at the same time? Bizarre, right? So I've been to Morocco, Portugal, Iceland, Thailand, Cambodia. We've been to a bunch of really cool places in the past like 6 years or so that are amazing. And I still book my trips to Disney despite that, despite traveling internationally. We try to do it, I would say, every year and a half or so. I still book pretty consistent trips to Disney. Sure, part of this is because I have this channel, and so I like to go down there and vlog and make content, but I wouldn't do that if I didn't already have the love of Disney and want to go in general, right? Like, I'm not going because of this channel, I'm going for me first and then filming for this channel. So when I really thought about, you know, what makes me want to go to Disney and what makes me want to travel internationally, I kind of put it on two different things. One, for me, is emotionally driven. So I've been going to Disney since I was a kid. I have fond memories there. I have memories with my family, with friends. I make wonderful memories now meeting all of you guys when I go down there. And there is a nostalgia and I love for something there that I grew up with. And not just in the parks, but the nostalgia of the movies that I grew up with and all of that. So there's an emotional drive to why I go there. And I equate it to how my husband goes to a cottage in Michigan every single summer, right? Because his family has been going to this cottage every single summer. The rest of his family also goes as well. He has so many fond memories growing up and spending summers in Michigan. It's the same thing. Just because mine is a theme park and his is, you know, just a cottage next to a lake, doesn't make either one less important or less worthy than the other. Granted, my trip's probably a little more expensive, but I have had those same sort of recurring memories that drive me emotionally to want to keep going because I've had nothing but positive experiences and I grew up with it. You know, to grow up with it and then as an adult not outgrow that love. I think that's something that a lot of people assume, right? It's Disney, it's for kids. You should be outgrowing this or you shouldn't be going back until you have kids, which obviously we all know is super dumb. The whole idea of what Walt built was a place to, the whole idea behind what Walt built, and he said it, was a place for kids and kids at heart. That means adults who enjoy imagination and magic and joy. You know, what is wrong with wanting to be in a place like that when you're an adult? But there's this weird stigma of like, no, when you're an adult, you need to just like go to really culturally significant places and then just work your 9 to 5 and that's your life. Unless you have kids, then your kids can enjoy the magic. But as soon as you're old enough to know that Mickey Mouse isn't real, you know, you shouldn't really be going by yourself because you need to kill all the magic and the awe when you're older, which is really dumb. So like I said before, going to Disney is emotionally driven for me, and going to other countries is culturally and curiosity driven for me, right? These are places I've never been before. These are countries I've never experienced, people I've never met. I want to learn about their cultures and their cities and how they live and the food they eat and the things that they do, because there is a part of me that wants to learn and experience and grow. I feel like the more that I've traveled, the more that I feel like I've become more of a compassionate person to so many different kinds of people, because I finally got to see who they are and how they live and how they speak and what they do and what matters to them. And I think that drive always makes me want to go to new countries. It's not just about seeing, you know, world famous things. I haven't even gone to like Paris, you know, it has the Eiffel Tower, that's world famous, right? And sure, I would love to go see these landmarks, but I go to countries that I am driven by the culture. I'm interested in that aspect and the people. And so that is very different than why I keep returning back to Disney, right? So that's why I do both, because for me personally, I need both in my life. I need the culturally driven, I need the newness, the curiosity, the excitement of somewhere new, and I need the warmth and the comfort and the feeling of home of Disney as well. And I like that I can do both. When it comes to money, I'll go back to that first statement of what you do with your money is not what I do with my money. Some people, I have friends who will spend all of their money on Broadway tickets. That is what they love. They love theater. They will buy into, you know, tickets, season tickets for the year. They will be the first ones online to go to a new show. They'll spend hundreds easily to see Hamilton, you know, when it was Flipper's really big, and that's what they love, so that's what they do. And because I love Disney, that's where I spend my money. And no one's one interest or love or experience is worth less than the other. I don't think going to Disney World is worth less than going to France or going to any other country. I think they have equal worth to me in my eyes, and that is why I put my money behind both, because I think they're both worth my money. And I think that is unfair for people to judge and say, why do you waste your money on this? Because truly, 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 for the people who are going every year, it is not a waste. I have 58 days to Disney World as I'm recording this. It is probably, I don't know, my 20-something time there, and I am as excited now as I am any other time that I've gone, because I really, really love it, and I know what I'm getting, and I know I'm gonna have a good time, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Flip side, we're looking at what the next country is gonna be. I'm really excited about the idea of that as well, and I think it is okay to be excited about both and to spend your money on both. So don't let anyone judge you, Disney fans, about how you spend your money. Don't let them put you down. Whether it's coworkers, family, friends, whoever, that is how you choose to spend your time and you choose to spend your vacation. And you can, even if it's just Disney, maybe you don't travel internationally at all and you're totally different than me and just like to do Disney, then fine. Don't let anyone judge you on what makes you happy. That is the true point of this video. Anyway, if you guys go to Disney more often than most and you have your reasons why, please let me know in the comments below. I want to hear why your love for Disney. Why do you spend money there year after year? What makes it worth it for you? If we get really good answers, I'd like to make a follow-up video to this and read some of those answers out because I think that Disney is so, so special, and I want to share that with more people. If you like this video, then like it. If you like me, you should subscribe. I make videos every single week, and I love chatting with you guys, and I have lots of great videos on the horizon. Plus, like I said, Disney World in 58 days for 7 days, so that's a lot of vlogs coming up. So do subscribe for that. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great rest of the day. Bye.